Hi, Michael. How are you?
Hey, Trinh, how are you doing?
Good, good. You look like you're in like the Marvel office.
So, shout out to my brother. This is actually his man cave. He just got engaged this weekend. I came down here for the party, and I was staying in my Airbnb. I called him up. I was like, I can't
Wow.
do this interview from my Airbnb when I could be sitting in this office. So,
Amazing, amazing. Very cool.
I got really excited when I saw your name on the sheet because you were one of the people who's been at Marvel Studios the whole time. And so excited to talk to you and ask you about this. So I do have some questions about Hawkeye, but first, can I get you just to reflect for a second on what it's been to look back on the decade plus, where you guys were and what's happening now with Marvel Studios?
It's incredible. I mean, it's been 14 years since I started at Marvel, and I remember it being a handful of people when I first started, when Iron Man and Hulk, we were making the first two movies. And now, literally a decade over, in here we are. We have Disney Plus, we have all of these contents that we're creating on this side, and the many features that are coming out. I mean, there's so many projects that I can't even count the amount, which I'm so grateful to be a part of the Marvel team, to be able to bring this out for everybody to see. So, you know, it's exciting. It's exciting because there's so much more.
It really is beyond, and you guys just did the announcement the other day with a ton of new titles no one was expecting. So you've run the gambit of positions over there at Marvel Studios. Maybe tell us a little bit about, in your executive producer role, how what you did with the Hawkeye show behind the scenes, and your input with this new series coming up.
We started talking about Hawkeye when I was still filming Infinity War and Endgame. So
Oh, wow.
it was that long ago, and we were in the latter half of 2017. Endgame was filming, and Kevin, came to visit us in Georgia, and I remember sitting in the trailer with him, and we were just sort of talking about what the project was going to be like, and I really gravitated towards the Clint Barton story and bringing in somebody like Kate Bishop into the fold. And so we originally talked about creating it as a feature, and then,
That's right, originally as a feature film.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So it was we felt that it was time for Clint Barton to get his spotlight and tell his story, and it was going to be a 2-hour movie, and then Disney Plus came about, and I couldn't stop putting down the Fraction run. I mean, it was just so much fun reading through that content. And I just remember saying, well, how are we going to fit all of this like in 2 hours? Especially when I'm introducing a new character into the fold. And so it just made sense that this was one of the ones that gravitated towards the Disney Plus side, so that I can get 6 hours to be able to tell their stories.
Yeah, in long form, and I'll tell you, after we got to see the first 2 episodes, and completely spoiler free, but getting to watch it play out, that's exactly what I was thinking, is that this content is so much better served. The Matt Fraction run is an excellent comic book. It's so awesome to hear that you read that. You read through it, and you guys stick to the source material. Oh, that's all. That's awesome. And fans at the channel are going to love to hear that too. We do wonder often, we're like, so are they buying the comics off the shelf? And well, obviously you guys are buying them. Marvel's hopefully giving to, but reading through the content. But so Hawkeye, I'll tell you, one of the things I'm excited for people to get acquainted with is Haley Steinfeld's portrayal of Kate Bishop. And so it sounds like you did, but going in, you guys had a pretty clear idea for what you wanted for the character. And there were so many rumors about her tied to the character. And I'm just curious if there was any truth to that. And it truly did take, a year or so to lock her down with her commitments and what was going on. Because we heard about it early, but it just kind of stayed out of the limelight for a while.
Look, when we start casting these new roles coming into the MCU, names are thrown out, right? We throw in names to see if any would seem fitting for the role, but Haley's has always been, in our mind. But it was really the moment that she walked in to meet with us, and it's Kevin and me sitting and just chatting with her, that we felt that she was definitely Kate Bishop, and there was nobody else who was going to be able to bring her to life the way she does. And at the end of the meeting, Kevin literally asked her if she wants to be a part of the MCU, and that was how confident we were.
Oh, wow. So that went down in the meeting.
That was actually during the meeting, that it was just like, this is going to be the person who is going to bring Kate to us in a way that we have envisioned all these years. So that was pretty amazing.
That's honestly, that's incredible. I love hearing about that stuff behind the scenes, and about being behind the scenes. You guys just announced this brand new slate. We've got shows like Echo, Agatha, House of Harkness is coming up. When you were starting out with the Iron Mans and the Captain Americas and the Hulks, and I talk about this all the time, how lucky we are now that you guys have gotten this big. You have Disney Plus, so we can see characters like this. Did you ever envision you guys were going to be able to do a She-Hulk show, even as a TV or as a feature? Now that you're getting to some of these characters, are there any favorites of yours you might want to see in the future of the MCU if you get a chance?
Wow. I've been so focused on this particular project, I haven't thought about like what is another interest. I mean, there's so many great characters. I think there's so many, which is great because Disney Plus allows us to explore more of that. I mean, normally on the feature side, we would be, we're selective about certain characters that we bring to life, and sometimes it would take years for them to be able to get their project. But with Disney Plus, we have that ability to explore a lot more faster. I have to have a think about more characters that I am interested. Either
there's some fun ones coming up.
There's some fun ones, but I think a lot of the ones that we are that are in different stages at the moment is going to get their moment to shine soon. So,
well, Trinh, thank you so much for taking time out of your day. You did a good job with that last question, giving nothing away. So I appreciate the candid answer, but well done. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait for everyone to see Hawkeye.
Thank you. It's great chatting with you.
Yeah, have a good one. See you later.
Bye.